Sathyabama Institute of Science and Technology.
Myself, Gayatri Sivakumar from Sathyabama Institute of Science and Technology, deemed to be university. In today's topic, we are going to see one of the most important content which is used in our daily day-to-day activities, which is nothing but our OOPS concepts in Java. So, next we are going to see the agenda for today's topic is first we'll have the introduction to OOPS and then followed by the access modifiers, what is access modifier and what are the 4 different types of access modifiers, and these are the 6 basic OOPS concepts we have in Java, like your class, objects, and these 4 are considered as the most important pillars of our OOPS concepts. So without further any delay, we'll just share into the content. So now we are going to see the introduction to OOPS. What is OOPS? In the name itself, it means OOPS is nothing but object-oriented programming. So what is the major impact of this OOPS is, it is mainly used to organize the software design around some data and object rather than the functions and logic. So the father of OOPS is nothing but Alan Kay. He was the father of OOPS, and the major impact of this is it is mainly focuses on the developers to gain the manipulation over the object rather than the functions and logic. So what is the major purpose of this OOPS is, it is mainly used to increase the code readability and reusability. So now we'll see an real-time application in OOPS. So you all have been seen this is nothing but a Mario game where we have different features like your player, enemy, bricks, pipes, etc. Instead of making these different functions separate, altogether clubbed is called as an application called Mario Game App. In the same way, this OOPS concepts are used in mainly of software development, mobile app applications, or like your graphical user interface GUI, and also it is mainly used in our recent trends of AI and machine learning, that is artificial intelligence and machine learning. So here it is the access modifiers. What is this access modifier? Access modifiers are nothing but it is mainly used to set the scope and accessibility of the classes or constructors or methods or members, whatever we are going to use in the Java. There are 4 different types: private, public, protected, and default. Private is nothing but, for example, you are using your Instagram account. There will be an option called privacy and security. If at all your account is private, only the person who you give your access or whoever the person who you request is going to see your post or story, whatever you're going to share. That is all about your private. Private means this access modifiers can be accessed only within the class. And here comes the public. Public is nothing but it can be accessed anywhere, that is inside the class, outside the class, within the package, and also outside the package. And the next is my protected. Protected is nothing but it can be only used within the package and outside the package. For example, if in case the child class is not there, child class is nothing but my subclass. We'll see in detail about the upcoming slides. Child class is nothing but my subclass. If there is no child class, only I have a parent class, means in that case this protected will be accessed only outside the package. And the last but not the least is my default. Default access modifiers can be accessed within the package. For example, if none of the access modifier level is mentioned, automatically I'll take default as my access level. This is all about my access modifier. Now we'll have a pictorial representation of class and objects. So for example, let us imagine I'm going to build a house. What is the first step you used to do? You will first have a blueprint, like what is you're going to do, or mapping. So the blueprint which I do or which I make is called as my class, and the actual output or the outcome which I get is nothing but my object. So here itself it tells, here it is just a logical entity, whereas I cannot see. Only I can see, but I cannot touch it in a physical appearance. But in object, I can also see and I can feel the presence as well. So this class is nothing but just my logical entity, but object is both a logical and physical entity. And the next comparison is This class will not have or it does not consume any memory or space, but in object it will be consuming some memory space, it is to be consumed. And this class is nothing but if you are using any method in the class, that class method cannot be used by the another class. But whereas an object, the object can have the methods of another class. So we'll see each and every one in detail, followed by this definition, syntax, example program and the output. Here comes my class. Class is nothing but, as we discussed in the previous pictorial representation, class is a blueprint of an object. We can create different and multiple number of objects by using this class, but it should be of same behavior. What I mean is, for example, let us assume there is a class called student. The student object, like your student name, you will be having some particular register number like student register number, student age, student gender, student address. So my class, if I create for student, all the objects should be completely of same behavior, which actually represents the student. There I cannot give my teacher name or teacher ID. Okay, that is what it meant to. We can create multiple objects, but it should be of a same behavior. So now we'll see the syntax for the class. Here is the syntax for creating a class. So here comes my access level. So I have given as public class, class name. As we told in the previous, Java is a case sensitive. So when you are creating your class name, it should be, for example, the first letter is caps, means the same class name, the capital should be followed when you are declaring it. Okay, so public class, class name, and inside the open brackets I am going to give the body of the function, like whatever methods or fields you are going to use. Here is the example. See, public class person I have given. So my class name here it is person, and string is nothing but my data type. What is string is? A use of a character. Character or string is same only. Okay, string, and here comes my name, and inside I have given as this is Gayathri. So this is my class. But here there won't be any output. Why? Because there is no main function. For every program, main function is like a brain of the program. Without main function, the output will not be coming. Okay. So next we'll see about what is object. Object is nothing but it is an instant of a class. Instance in the sense whatever the real world objects you are giving. For example, it is a real world entity which can have both states and behaviors. As we told before, see, for example, we are using a person, and here we have a name, age, city and gender. Here I am going to specifically mention as John, 35, and he belongs to city Delhi and he is a male. So this will consume some of the memory or storage where all the data members and methods will be completely belonging to that person only. So this is all about my object, and there are three different ways to initialize the object. First is by using the reference variable, and the next is by using the methods, and the last is by constructors. We'll see that in the next. Here comes the syntax for creating the object. As we told before, Java is a case sensitive, so I am calling my class name here followed by the object. Object is nothing but whatever you are going to create is equal to new. New is my keyword I have used for creating the object. Okay, this new is very mandatory, and followed by the class name. Okay, here comes the syntax for creating the object. Next, here we have the example program. See, I have given here as class person, and here is my data type, that is my string. Here is my name I have given. As we told, we can declare it. So this is Gayathri. Here comes the main function, public static void main, string arguments, and here I am going to call my class name as I have discussed here, class name space object, anything can be. Here I have given as just obj. It is your wish, you can also give it as some p or whatever it is. Okay, is equal to new person, and here comes the statement. I am going to print this. So system.out.println, I am going to declare and call this object here followed by the method what I have used. So here the method is my name. So name I have given. So once I run this program, I will be getting the output as this is Gayathri. This is all about your object. Next we will see an pictorial representation of abstraction, and then we will go into the definition. What is this? It is actually a person is going to try to get in some money, or he is going to withdraw or the deposit in an automated teller machine like ATM. The thing is, you will know just the operation of inserting the ATM card, and you will take some money or else you will deposit some money, right? But you doesn't know what are the internal features we have, like what is going to be inserted, how much cash will be there inside the ATM. That features we don't know. This is all about my abstraction. So here comes the definition. It is nothing but it is a process of hiding all the implementation details inside and shows only the functionality to the users. Whatever is there inside as a function, it is going to be shown to the user. This abstraction is mainly declared in three different ways, like your abstract classes, methods and interfaces. What is this is, here comes the syntax for creating the abstract class. So here abstract class is nothing but a class which has the abstract as a keyword. As we told before, object means new will be as a keyword. The same way for abstract class, my abstract will be as my keyword. So abstract class followed by my class name, and here I have given the curly brackets. This is a syntax for creating the abstract class, and here comes the syntax for declaring my abstract method. Okay, here comes the void abstract, here comes the method. So bracket open close and followed by semicolon must be here. Here we no need to mention the semicolon. This is how the syntax was. Okay, next we will see an example program by implementing this. Here is example program for abstraction. See, here I have created input java.io.star, and here is the abstract where I have told before abstract class will be there as my keyword. So abstract class followed by my class name, which is nothing but my student. And here I have given as abstract method declaring. So abstract void, here my method is student is going to read. Okay, so read I have given as a bracket and semicolon. Next I have created another, this is nothing but my super class. Super class is also called as my parent class, and this is my subclass which is called as my child class. Here I have created another class name. So class teacher extends. What is the use of this extended? It is mainly used to increase the functionality from the base class to the child class. Okay, for example, it is mainly used to extend the class or interface what you are going to use. This extend keywords plays a vital role to inherit all the properties of attributes or methods whatever you are using. It is going to take and attributes those from a parent class to a subclass. That is what meant by the using of this keyword called extends. So here I have just given, here it is just a class, here it is an abstract class, so I have given abstract as a word. But here it is just a class, so I need not to mention my keyword as abstract. And here comes the system.out.println. I have given my statement, we are the best. And here comes the main function, public static void main string arguments. Now I am going to call the abstract class whatever I declared here. So abstract class student I have declared. So student I have declared here followed by my object name. Object name can be anything. So here I have declared as yes. Okay, and equal to, as we told, whenever you are creating your class name, the new should be my keyword. So equals to new and followed by my teacher is nothing but my class name 2. So I have called this here. Now I am going to call this object. So s dot function methods whatever given is read. So this is going to be my function. So once I close this and I execute this program, whatever is given is my class, like your main function, that is going to be my output called as we are the best. So this is all about my abstraction. Next we'll see what is encapsulation. And the picture you cannot have seen this capsule, right? There is, if you get time, you just try to break this capsule and see there will be two different shades. So this is all about my encapsulation. Encapsulation means encapsulation. So see, it is nothing but binding my variables and methods together in a single class or an entity. So both the variables and methods should be in a single class, and it is also called as an entity. So what is the major impact of this encapsulation is, it is mainly used to prevent the data from the users. For example, if there is another unknown person who is our outside, means it prevents the data access from those outside. So this encapsulation is accessed by two different methods. One is my get method and the next one is my set method. Getter method is nothing but it is mainly used to return the variable values whatever we have declared, and set method is going to give or set the variable values what we have declared. So this get method is also called as my read only operation, and set method is called as write only operation. What does this get method do is, it is mainly used to retrieve the information. Whatever the information we have given, we are going to retrieve or get the variable values. But in set method, we are going to modify the information, like whatever we need. For example, I need to change a name, and means in that case I am going to modify my information. Here comes the syntax for encapsulation. So here it is nothing but my access modifier followed by my class and the class name. And here, whatever the data members I am going to declare, it should be in the access modifier of private, and the data method should be of a public. Okay, this is all about my syntax. So access modifier, class name, and the data members should be private and the data methods should be in the public. So here we'll see an example program followed by this encapsulation. See here, I have created a class name called class faculty, and here I have created a private. Private is nothing but my access modifier. String is my data type and name is my class, one of the method member I am going to call. And again I have created another private string email I have given. So now I am going to get method. As we discussed in the previous slide, we have two different methods. One is my get and the next one is my set method. So I am going to call my get method here, that is public. As we told before, whenever you call your data methods, it should be of public. So public string get name, and I am going to return this. Again I am going to set a name. This is my get method. Now I am going to set the method. So public void set name, and I am going to call this method or data member what I have declared here. Now here comes a keyword called this. Why we are using this keyword is, it is mainly used to represent the current object. Here the current object whatever I have given is my name. So this keyword is mainly used to represent a current object in the class or constructors you are using. It is mainly used to avoid the confusions which is happening around the attributes or methods of any class which is of the same name. Okay. So now this keyword will represent this current object called name. To avoid the confusion of name and email, I have given a keyword called this. So this dot name is equals to name, and now I am going to call the next data member, that is called my email. So public string get email, and here comes a return email. This is my get method. I am going to set a method. So public void set email and set as email. Now this keyword will represent the data member called email. So this email is equals to email. Now I am going to call the main method. So public class mail. I have created another class name called mail, and here comes the main method called public static void means string arguments. Now I have created the name, right? So this class name I am going to call faculty. G is equals to new faculty, and so now the object name whatever I have given, I am going to call here G dot set name. So here comes the two methods, like my data members are name and the email. So I am going to set name as Gayathri Sivakumar, and email I am going to give it as gayatri@csc@sathyabama.ac.in. And here the system.out method, I am going to set the two data members like my get name and set email. Once I am going to close. Once I execute this program, automatically whatever I have given in my statement, like my name is Gayathri Sivakumar and my email ID will be printed as an output. This is all about my encapsulation. Next we will see what is inheritance. So here you can see two pictures. Here is a line. He is saying, son, I am a base class. So he is nothing but the father. So now this cup, the small line is called as a cup. So this is saying, dad, I am the derived class. So here comes the representation, that is, this child class will be completely having all the behaviors from this parent class. So this is all about the inheritance. We will see the definition now. See here. Inheritance is also called as is a relationship. What does it mean? It's a child class will be completely acquiring all the properties and behaviors of a parent class. So the behaviors whatever it is going to be inherited, it comes from the parent class. As we told, parent class is also called as super class, and the super class is also called as my base class. And here comes the child class. This is also called as subclass, or it is called as derived class. So we'll have a just short hint. Child class ends with a letter called D. So this child class will also be called as my derived class, and parent class will also be called as base class. So here comes the syntax for inheritance. So class, subclass name. Subclass name is nothing but my child class. Extends superclass name. Extends keyword means it is going to inherit the features or properties whatever being used from one class to another class. And here comes the method and feels like the body of the statement. So here if at all I am using 3 classes, means class A, class B and class C, this class C will have the features of class B. So that is what public class A, and this class B extends to the class A and class C will extends to the previous. So this will be an hierarchical order. It inherits the features of a parent class. Here comes the different types. There are 5 different types of inheritance. First is my single inheritance. So we have 2 classes, means this class B will inherit the properties of class A. The next is my multiple level. This is nothing but if we have 3 classes, class B, class C and class A. So this class C will inherit the features of class B and this B will inherit the features of class A. The next is hierarchical inheritance. Here in case if it is in this, what is represent is, what is the difference between my multiple and the hierarchical is, here there will be only one parent class, that is only one super class, but 2 child class, let us do super class. In that case these 2 classes will inherit the features of this parent class. The next is my multiple inheritance. Here we will be having 2 super classes but only one child class. And the last is my hybrid class, one child class and again 2 parent class and again one child class. So this is all about my types. We will see the syntax of inheritance and the example program here. Class I have created as class father, public void work. Okay, so my method here is work, system.out.println at office. Okay, so now my father is going to office. I have created another class name called mother. So this mother is going to extend the previous class name called father, and here public void mother is cooking. Okay, so public void cook, and in the main function like my statement system.out.println mother is cooking food. So here I am going to inherit a class C, that is class A is my father, class B is my mother and class C is the child class. So class child extends father. So public void the child is going to play. Now my statement is system.out.println I have given as child is playing cricket. So now the main function I am going to call as public static void means string arguments. Now whatever the class I have given here, this mother will be m is equals to new mother and m dot, what is the method I have used? Cook. So this cook will be coming here, and again the next class is child class C is class name, that is my object name is equals to new child, new class name, and C dot whatever the method I have given here I am going to call this. So my statement now will be, if at all I declare these 2 means whatever the statement I am printed inside. For example, if I print here father means the father statement at office I will be displaying in my output. So here I have called only my mother class and child class. So my output will be displaying the statements whatever prevented in the mother class and the child class. So mother is cooking food and the child is playing cricket. It is all about my inheritance. Moving on to the last concept, which is nothing but my polymorphism. So here you can see a girl, she is playing a different roles like going for supermarkets, taking care of her children and washing clothes, doing works at home. So here comes the syntax. The definition, we'll see what is polymorphism. Poly means the word poly states many and morphism means behavior. Polymorphism is nothing but many forms, that is it is used to execute a single task in multiple ways. We can perform a single task in different ways, right? So this polymorphism can be done in 2 different ways. There are 2 methods, one is my static and the next one is my dynamic method. The static method is also called as method overloading and this dynamic method is also called as method overriding, and here this is mainly used for compile time polymorphism. This is only for the runtime polymorphism. Okay, here are 2 different polymorphism. One is my compile time and the next one is my runtime polymorphism. As we told before, it is function overloading and this is operator overloading, and this is my virtual function. This is nothing but my overriding. Okay. Here comes the syntax for the polymorphism. So here class name I have created, class name 1, and here I have created this methods can be inside. Whatever the body of the statement I need I can give, and here again class name 2 extends a class name 1. And for creating the object, how I should create is class name 1, object whatever I need, and whenever you are creating the object, as we told, this new keyword should be there, is equals to new class name 2. This is how we'll have the syntax for the polymorphism. Next we'll see the example program. Class, I've created a class name called animal and public void animal sound. Okay. Now I've created this statement called system.out.println, the animal makes the sound. Now here I've created another class name plus pig extends animal. So this is going to inherit the methods or the functions what I've given in the pig. So system I have given, I bring it as the pig says VV. And now I'm going to create another class name like dog extends the previous. So the thing is, it is going to call the class name which has been inherited in the first. So class name animal. So again this pig extends animal and dog extends animal. Okay. Now system.out.println, the dog says bow bow. And again this comes the main method. So class, I have created another class called public class main, and here comes a public static void main string arguments. Here I am going to call the class name which have been inherited first. So animal, object name also I have given. You can see the difference, animal A is caps, and here when I am creating the object name it is in small. So since Java is case sensitive, the object name I have given as animal itself and new animal. The same way, whenever you are inheriting, it should be done in the previous class name. So animal pig is equals to new pig, and the last again animal dog is equals to new dog. Now I am going to call all the three methods which I have inherited. So animal dot animal sound and pig dot animal sound and dog dot animal sound. So whatever I had given in the statements, since I have called all the three methods here, I am going to get the statements which I have printed. The animal makes sound, the pig says VV, and the dog says bow bow. This is all about my polymorphism. So this is, so far we have discussed one of the most important topic in OOPS. We'll see you all in another interesting video. Thank you.